All right, Rob, let's move. You got an interesting take here. I want to give you the floor on this. Anthony Davis, great shot last night, right?
If he misses that shot, man, the narrative and what would have been the conversation today is incredible.
Really?
Yeah.
So you think it would have been that big of a deal? Okay, what do you think the narrative would have been?
It would have been LeBron had a terrible second half, didn't want to take the game-winning shot. It's 1-1. Denver now is in the series. Is LeBron, can he afford to? I mean, it would have been that conversation because of his poor second half and because he didn't take the game winner. And I'm not saying that he should have tried, would have forced up a shot or whatever, but that narrative would have been out there considering the second half was bad. Anthony Davis made the big shot. They won the game. They have a comfortable 2-0 lead. But when I look at what he's done this year, and I look at all the numbers, he had better numbers than LeBron in every category, except for assists, which makes sense. Anthony Davis is the reason why the Lakers are where they are. It doesn't mean that they could win. I'm not saying that LeBron couldn't be on the team and they still would be in the same exact spot. But he, to me, is the X factor. That Anthony Davis, like last night, what they got from him, if they don't get stuff like that, big games, big shots from Anthony Davis, I think that team would struggle. Anthony Davis is the reason that they'll get to the finals and have a chance to win. That's all.
Well,
And I think he's the MVP of the Lakers. That's why LeBron got just 15 votes? Is that what?
Hold on. He got 16 votes. That's
16
16 more than Anthony Davis got. There's no rule against voting for Anthony Davis.
Yeah, but the narrative is so strong on LeBron, and everybody wanted to do it because
it ain't that strong. He only got
yes,
16 votes.
No,
he got 16 votes.
The narrative.
Out of 101.
No, but the narrative.
I
didn't say the voters, but the narrative out there was, and that's why so many of his fans were all upset because the false narrative by the LeBron minions had it as a close race, Chris. You talked about it. You saw the polls. We both talked about it. You, for 1 second, never thought LeBron was winning. But there were people who actually were shocked. Would you admit that? Was shocked that he didn't win.
Hold on. Here's what I'll say. Obviously, LeBron's, strongest fans certainly think he should have won it.
I'm sorry, media people who have this LeBron narrative.
Doug Gottlieb is not a LeBron, lover, and he thinks LeBron was the MVP. Stephen A., our buddy Stephen A. Smith, who calls it like he sees it, no matter what, he thought LeBron was the MVP. There was Skip Bayless. Now I don't know if Skip was doing it to put pressure on LeBron to win the finals, but whatever the case, Skip thought he was the MVP. So, yeah, of course his strongest fans think that, but there were legitimate, unbiased people that thought LeBron was the MVP.
Not when you get trounced like that. I'm sorry, and I don't know what
Well, no, I'm just saying, but the names I mentioned, I know you respect those guys, and they, that was their thought.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying, Anthony Davis got trounced far more than LeBron.
Yeah, but we've seen this before and the Shaq and Kobe and why they didn't win more championships. Usually guys,
you mean
when
more
have
MVPs?
MVPs,
yep.
they cancel each other out a lot of times, and for whatever reason, they don't get the votes. And I get, the LeBron thing and leading the league in assists, and last year they didn't make the playoffs. This year LeBron got them to the chance to win a championship. So a lot of that narrative and LeBron in year 17, but it wasn't that kind of award. It wasn't. It didn't have anything to do with that.
Yeah, he wasn't.
He was
MVP.
never the MVP.
But what I'll say is he's the MVP of the Lakers. And you're right. Without Anthony Davis, I certainly believe they're a playoff team, but I don't believe they're the best team in the West without Anthony Davis. But if you take LeBron off that team, they're not nearly as good. They're not as good without LeBron as they'd be without AD, in my view. LeBron has a track record of carrying every team he's on, essentially, not only to the playoffs, but deep into the playoffs. AD doesn't have that track record. We giving him the benefit of the doubt. And look, I think AD And I don't know if it'll happen next year. It might happen next year. But AD is going to become their best player. That's the natural progression. LeBron will be the second guy, but still a top 5, top 10 player in the league. And with him at point guard, able to run the show, I actually think that they'll still have chances to win championships. It's like when Kareem got older and Magic became the guy. But Kareem was still effective. So I actually think and soon AD will be their best player. But watching them play all year, I mean, LeBron is the straw that stirs the drink. LeBron is the guy that made them go. He's the leader. He's the one. I mean, he helped, to me, create more confidence in AD in himself. I'm not saying he didn't have confidence in himself, but I think LeBron has fed him and played into his ego and got him really playing with a swagger that he really didn't have before. I just think LeBron got everybody on that team believing. What we going to do, Rob, I want to continue this. I said this about Anthony Davis's game-winning shot. I wondered, as you know, because I said it many times on the show, would Anthony Davis be a fourth quarter go-to guy for the Lakers? That was my big question about the Lakers and him all season long. It was part of why I picked the Clippers, because I wasn't convinced.
Well, he's had 2 points. How many times did we see in big games?
Yep.
Where he disappeared, and that was real. I mean, that's not conjecture or a narrative. Those were by the numbers that we watched and the play.
Yep, and he's been better in the playoffs. His scoring in the fourth has been up. He is shooting 64% in the fourth, 50% from three. I mean, he's doing damage. And he's not yet an all-time great. He's not, okay?
I hope you don't think I said that. I never said that.
No. But what I'm saying, I'm going to give you a take I gave on TV today, is that I believe we will look back at this moment assuming, and I said this on the air, assuming they win this championship, which I believe they will. Do you think they will at this point? The Lakers?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure yet.
Assuming they win this championship.
Because things can turn around. I'm just not sure.
Anything can happen, of course. But they're the clear favorites. I think you would agree to that. They're the clear-cut favorites to win the championship. If they go on to win this championship, I think we'll look back at this moment and say that was kind of the official coming out when he went from being just a great player in his current time to being an all-time great. Because he'll have a championship. He's young. He's got plenty of years to, continue to do his thing. He's got great numbers. He's always had great numbers. And I think he'll continue to build and get better. And as I said, Rob, I think if the natural progression takes place where AD becomes the number one option, the best player, and LeBron is the point guard, still a top 5, top 10 player in the league, and they build wisely around them with, would obviously be role players for the most part, I think they're going to have a chance to win more championships. And obviously that'll just further solidify his legacy, Anthony Davis. So I'm not with you on AD was their MVP this year, but right now, like he would be the MVP of this series. And it's a possibility, Rob, that he will be, if they win the championship, don't you think it's a great chance that he could be MVP of the finals? Or you think?
No, I do think that. I don't think that it's automatic that they would just give it to LeBron. You can't.
They should make it who deserves it, right?
Right. I mean, it would be unfair. You don't know, and you can't say, well, Anthony Davis is younger, who'll have other chances. No, it doesn't go like that. It doesn't go like that. It goes by who plays the best, at that given time. That's why they could have given it to Steph a couple times. Oh, he's the best player in the league. No. Iguodala, they thought, despite LeBron's numbers, did enough to slow him down to make a difference, Chris. That's the way they looked at it, right?
Yeah, I thought that was ridiculous.
No, but I'm saying, but that was the reason.
Right. If they've treated, look, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar won 6 championships. He was Finals MVP twice. Magic won 3 or 5 championships. He was Finals MVP 3 times. Bird won it 3 times, was Finals MVP twice. Like, it doesn't. Jordan, you know this Jordan, Rob. He's the only one who every time he wins, he's the Finals MVP, right? It's not automatic.
And that's the argument when people try to build up, and it's not a knock on Scottie Pippen. But if Scottie Pippen went, well, Michael never won without Scottie. Well, if that's the case, Scottie might have won 3 MVPs, Chris, at some point, right?
Yep.
To make it as if everybody, if they win, they automatically get the MVP is not true, and you just made the case. It's not true.
Let me ask you this, Rob. If if the Lakers win the championship and LeBron's not the Finals MVP, let's say it's AD, would that take something away from it for LeBron? You know, in your opinion,
he still would have 4 championships, but it wouldn't change.
And have led 3 teams.
Yeah, I mean, but it would just be.
So you wouldn't rant against him because of it.
No, I would just tell you what I think is happening and why I think AD is the. You know what I mean? It would probably validate what I was saying. That's what
LeBron should embrace. And then look, I think LeBron clearly is their best player. We'll see what happens in the finals. I don't put that much stock into, like, if a guy's not the Finals MVP. I mean, it just means somebody had a better. You know, it doesn't mean it's not his team. Like when Isaiah Thomas, his first championship, Dumars was the Finals MVP. It didn't mean Isaiah wasn't the best player on the team. It wasn't his team. And so I don't think that should become any type of point of contention. I think these guys mainly want to win the championship. Obviously, you always want individual accolades. But, it's interesting. Let's throw it out to the callers, Rob. 877-99 on Fox.
All right, let's kick it off with Max in Georgia. You're on The Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Max?
Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all been?
Great, man. How are you?
Man, I'm all right. I had a good friend pass away, so I've been recovering.
Oh, really? How old was it? You're young, so was he a young guy or?
I got to be honest. It was a canine. I say that respectfully. It was a canine. You know, I trained canines, so.
Oh, wow.
12-year-old canine. Been there for about 8 years, so it was
wow. Okay.
But
hang in there, buddy.
I got to get it on this. I appreciate y'all talking about it. I just think this is kind of clear and cut, and I think LeBron even said it himself at the beginning of the year. They're going to run through AD. We're going to run through AD. We've seen him kind of wait and kind of freeze up to get AD the moment. I thought AD was beautiful. That was a beautiful shot. He did everything he needed to do. He was hot. I think he was 13 points straight. I mean, the guy was on fire. I think LeBron's taking the back seat, and I think as long as he's able to mentally control the pieces, they got a good shot, unfortunately, this year to win the title.
Well, they should win it. I mean, if they don't win it this year or now, that's a huge failure, don't you think, Rob?
Yeah, it's
I mean, they're clearly the best. Yeah, right. With the Clippers out of the way, with Milwaukee out of the way, like, I'm not saying it's going to be easy. Denver's legit. I think Miami plays as hard as maybe harder than anyone.
If he misses that shot, it's a totally different conversation.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think anybody's saying Denver's going to win the series.
I just think it would. I think it would be different. You just because of what they're able to do and how they've been able to come back in holes. I don't know. I still believe that it would be like, wow, they got after the way they beat them in game 1, game 2 would have just been different. All right, Richard in North Carolina, you're on The Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Richard?
What's going on, Rob and Chris?
How are you,
man?
I'm doing pretty good. Look, man, LeBron James is definitely the MVP. Everybody knows this. But it's some people like Rob that'll throw out, AD had better numbers. AD could have been the MVP. LeBron is passing the torch. He's in it. He's giving the keys to AD. He's putting AD in this position because he wasn't in no MVP talks like that with the Pelicans, I remember.
Right.
So wait a minute.
Here's the other thing.
I'm talking about did you look at the numbers? I'm not just throwing that out. I mean, Chris, did AD not have better numbers?
No,
other than
AD
assists?
led him in everything but assists. But what I'll say,
I'm just saying. So I'm not like making up numbers.
Right. LeBron played for the first time in his career exclusively point guard. Very few point guards, particularly on championship type teams, lead their team in, points and rebounds. I mean, nowadays a lot of point guards lead in points, but they don't tend to win championships. Steph, he'll lead the Warriors in points, but, Draymond would lead him in assists. So Steph was not really playing a typical point guard role. But, when Steve Nash won his 2 MVPs, Amari Stoudemire was their leading scorer, leading rebounder. So, a lot of times Magic, how many times did Magic lead the Lakers in scoring? Maybe once. I think the 1 year he averaged 23. And even sometimes he was third leading scorer behind Kareem and James Worthy. So I don't think, that's a legitimate point that shows how good AD was, but it doesn't mean that LeBron wasn't MVP just because he only led him in assists.
Yeah, I just looked at the way what he added to him, and where
he
they
was great.
Where they are compared to where they were just a year ago. Eric in Kalamazoo, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, E?
Man, what's up, fella? Let me blast y'all. How many finals have AD been to? LeBron James is the only way they're going to be able to navigate and win a title,
Hold on.
man.
Let me say this, Eric. We're not talking about a career of presentation. We're not talking about chronicling your hope. We're talking about this season. That's all we're talking about.
This season. Duh. If you didn't get hurt last year, Christmas Day, you would have saw it last year. But
no, you can't say that. He came back and he played. He didn't finish out the season.
Right,
injured.
Okay, but I don't want to go there, Rob.
I think they would have made the playoffs. Yeah,
when you mentioned
made the
Joe
playoffs.
He wouldn't have made the playoffs.
And Isaiah.
They were a high seed.
Chris,
second
they were
seed
2
or
games
something
from
like
the
that?
8th seed.
Chris Broussard.
Yeah, but they were
when
2 games from the first seed. Go ahead.
I'm from that part of the world to talk about Joe Dumars was able to buy into Isaiah's idea and got so close that they became one. That's what happened there. But Magic Johnson is connected with Draymond Green, dropping down.
What are you saying that
is a connection with LeBron.
What are you saying that for about Dumars? I didn't say Dumars was better than Isaiah. I said he was the Finals MVP.
I didn't say you said he was better.
But it still was
you
Isaiah's
mentioned that he got the MVP. I was telling you as a Detroit Pistons fan, hey, Chris Broussard, man, you're from Akron. You're from LeBron's town. I'm telling you as a Detroit Pistons fan that if you mention my team, I got to break you down about that. And I'm from Howard, too.
But what'd you break down? I didn't say nothing different than what you said. I said Isaiah was the best player on the team. It was his team, even though Dumars was the Finals MVP.
Trying to say Steph and Draymond was playing the Michigan State Magic role. LeBron is Magic in this situation. He's going to navigate this thing, and he's going to be the MVP. And the GOAT ain't do nothing like what he's doing. Trust me, we beat the GOAT. That's why y'all don't like us.
Okay. Good call, Eric. That was Eric? Is that his name?
Yeah.
All right.
Can we squeeze in Steven in California? Yeah, Steven, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up?
How's it going, gentlemen? How's everything?
How are you?
Great, man. How are you?
Doing good. So I think LeBron is MVP of the Lakers for sure because, like you said, he's the straw that stirs the drink, man. He gets everyone involved. He makes sure that every player on that team hits their shots and puts it in the right spot. AD is great, but AD can get AD. LeBron gets everyone involved.
AD doesn't necessarily make guys
AD don't make that shot last night. Ain't nobody talking about no LeBron. They're talking about LeBron not taking a shot and LeBron having a bad second half. I just think that you got to be careful to say that if AD plays big in the finals, Chris, and makes some big shots at the end and whatnot and averages 30 points, you can't tell me that he's not going to be considered MVP.
No, he could. I mean, look, like I said, it's only 2 games in, but there's no question that right now, if there was an MVP of this series, it would be Anthony Davis. So it should be judged fairly. It still, to me, won't mean it's not LeBron's team, even if AD wins it, or that this year he was the best player. But, it's an interesting conversation. All right.